Have you ever noticed how some people sleep 5 hours and wake up like they conquered the world, while you sleep 8 and still feel like you've been hit by a truck? It's not fair, right? You're doing everything by the book, getting your full 8 hours, going to bed at a decent time, but you still wake up exhausted, foggy, like your brain is moving through mud. Meanwhile, there's that person who sleeps barely half the night and somehow has more energy, more focus, more clarity than you've had in months. So what's the difference? Are they just built differently? Do they have some genetic advantage? You don't. Not exactly. Because here's what psychology and sleep science have discovered. It's not about how long you sleep. It's about how well you sleep. And more importantly, it's about understanding what your brain actually needs to feel restored. Let me show you exactly how this works. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to sleep less but wake up feeling better than you have in years. The truth about sleep that no one tells you. First, let's destroy the biggest myth about sleep. The idea that everyone needs exactly 8 hours. That number, it's arbitrary. It's average. And averages don't account for you as an individual. Your brain, your lifestyle, your sleep architecture. Sleep psychology tells us something fascinating. Your brain doesn't count hours. It tracks cycles. And understanding this single concept will change everything about how you approach rest. Each sleep cycle lasts approximately 90 minutes. And within that cycle, your brain moves through several distinct stages. But 2 of them matter most for how you feel when you wake up. Deep sleep. This is where your body does its physical repair work. Muscles rebuild. Your immune system strengthens. Growth hormones release. It's your body's maintenance mode. Without enough deep sleep, you wake up feeling physically drained. Even if you slept for 10 hours, REM sleep. Rapid eye movement sleep. This is where your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and enhances creativity. It's psychological recovery. Without enough REM, you wake up mentally foggy, emotionally unstable, anxious without knowing why. When these stages are balanced, when you complete full cycles without interruption, your body and mind feel fully restored, even in just 5 or 6 hours. But here's where most people sabotage themselves without realizing it. Why? You wake up tired even after 8 hours. You think you're sleeping 8 hours, but psychologically you're not. Because sleep isn't just about lying in bed with your eyes closed. It's about the quality of those cycles. If your sleep is fragmented, broken up by blue light exposure, caffeine still in your system, stress keeping your nervous system activated, your brain never reaches deep sleep or REM properly. Psychologists call this fragmented sleep, and it's the silent killer of energy and focus. You might be in bed for 8 hours, but your brain is only truly resting for 4. The rest of the time, it's in light sleep or half-awake states, getting disrupted by your environment, your thoughts, your body's own stress response. This is why you can sleep longer than someone else and still feel worse, because they completed 4 full, uninterrupted cycles. While you had 6 broken, incomplete ones, your body rested, but your mind didn't recover. And that's the difference between quantity and quality. So how do you fix this? How do you optimize your sleep so that less time in bed gives you more energy when you wake up? Let's break it down, step by step. Step 1. Understand your circadian rhythm. Brain has an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. It's a 24-hour biological cycle that regulates when you feel alert and when you feel sleepy. And here's the thing most people don't realize. When you sleep and wake at random times, your circadian rhythm gets completely confused. Your brain doesn't know when to release melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. It doesn't know when to suppress cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps you alert. So you end up fighting your own biology. You're trying to sleep, but your brain is still pumping out cortisol because it doesn't trust that it's actually time to rest. You're trying to wake up, but melatonin is still in your system because your brain thinks it's still nighttime. This internal chaos is exhausting, and it's why inconsistent sleep schedules destroy your energy more than the actual amount of sleep you get. Psychology shows us that when you keep a consistent routine, your brain learns the pattern. It starts preparing for sleep before you even lie down. Melatonin begins releasing naturally. Your body temperature drops slightly. Your mind starts winding down. And in the morning, even before your alarm goes off, your brain begins the waking process. Cortisol rises gradually. Body temperature increases. You shift from deep sleep to lighter stages, naturally. This is why people who sleep and wake at the same time every day, even on weekends, report feeling more energized on less sleep than people with irregular schedules. It's not about discipline. It's about biology. When you work with your circadian rhythm instead of against it, sleep becomes effortless, and waking up becomes natural, not a battle. Step 2. The 90-minute rule. Here's where it gets really practical. If you want to wake up feeling fresh, you need to plan your sleep in 90-minute blocks. Sleep research shows that waking up in the middle of a cycle creates something called sleep inertia, that groggy, disoriented, heavy feeling where your brain feels like it's underwater. But waking up at the end of a cycle, your brain transitions smoothly from sleep to alertness. You feel clear, sharp, ready. So instead of thinking I need 8 hours, think in cycles. 4.5 hours is 3 cycles. 6 hours is 4 cycles. 7.5 hours is 5 cycles. Most high performers don't sleep 8 hours, they sleep 6 or 7.5. Because those numbers align with complete cycles, they're waking up at the natural endpoint, not in the middle of deep sleep. And this is why someone sleeping 6 hours can feel better than someone sleeping 8, because 8 hours might land you right in the middle of a cycle, while 6 hours completes exactly 4 full ones. Try this tonight. Calculate backwards from when you need to wake up. If you wake at 6 a.m., plan to fall asleep at 10:30 p.m. for 7.5 hours, or 11:30 p.m. for 6 hours. Give yourself 15 minutes to actually fall asleep. You'll notice the difference immediately. It's not magic. It's biology working with you instead of against you. Step 3. The 3-to-1 power down rule. Your brain doesn't have an off switch. It needs time to transition from wakefulness to sleep. And most people completely skip this process, then wonder why they can't fall asleep. Psychologically, your brain needs what's called cognitive offloading, a signal that it's safe to stop being alert, that there are no more problems to solve, no more threats to monitor. Without this signal, your nervous system stays activated. You lie in bed, but your mind keeps racing, replaying conversations, planning tomorrow, worrying about things you can't control. This is where the 3-2-1 rule comes in, and it's one of the most powerful sleep psychology tools you'll ever use. 3 hours before bed. No heavy food. Digestion is an active process. When your stomach is working hard to break down a big meal, your body can't fully relax into deep sleep. Eat your last meal at least 3 hours before you plan to sleep. Your body will thank you 2 hours before bed. Stop working. Your brain needs to shift out of problem-solving mode. No emails, no work projects, no intense conversations about stressful topics. Give your mind permission to wind down. This is when you do lighter activities, reading fiction, listening to music, gentle stretching 1 hour before bed, no screens. Blue light from phones, tablets and computers suppresses melatonin production. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Your circadian rhythm gets confused, and falling asleep becomes a struggle. Instead, use this hour for calming rituals. Take a warm shower, journal about your day, practice light meditation or breathing exercises. Do anything that signals to your nervous system that the day is ending. These habits shift your brainwaves from beta, active and alert, to alpha, relaxed and calm. This is the state where sleep begins naturally, not forced, not with sleeping pills or desperation, but as a natural biological response to the right conditions. Step 4. Morning sunlight resets your brain. Here's something most people don't realize. How you wake up is just as important as how you sleep. The first 10 minutes after you open your eyes set the tone for your entire day. And psychology shows us that morning sunlight is one of the most powerful tools for feeling alert and energized. When light enters your eyes in the morning, it triggers your brain to suppress melatonin and release serotonin, the neurotransmitter that boosts mood and focus. But it has to be natural sunlight, not the light from your phone, not artificial indoor lighting. Actual sunlight, even on a cloudy day, is 10 times brighter than indoor light, and has a completely different effect on your brain. Step outside within 10 minutes of waking up. No sunglasses, no phone in your hand. Just stand there for 5 to 10 minutes. Let the light hit your eyes. This resets your circadian rhythm. It tells your brain, this is the start of the day. This is when I should be alert. And 16 hours later, when that same brain needs to produce melatonin for sleep, it knows exactly when to start. People who get morning sunlight fall asleep faster at night and wake up more refreshed in the morning. It's one of the simplest but most scientifically backed habits for better sleep and energy. Step 5. Cold exposure and movement. Your brain wakes up through activation, and there are 2 powerful ways to activate your nervous system naturally. Cold water. When you expose your body to cold, even for just 30 seconds, your sympathetic nervous system kicks in. This releases dopamine and norepinephrine, natural chemicals that create alertness and focus. A cold shower. Splashing cold water on your face, even drinking ice-cold water first thing in the morning. All of these send a signal to your brain, wake up. It's time to be alert. Movement. Even light movement, like stretching or a short walk, increases blood flow to your brain and releases endorphins. Within minutes, that morning fog disappears. Your mind clears. Your body feels energized. You don't need an intense workout, just 5 to 10 minutes of intentional movement, enough to shift your body out of rest mode and into action mode. These two habits, cold exposure and movement, replace the need for caffeine. They give you natural, sustained energy without the crash that comes later. The psychology of sleep and success. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Most people view sleep as something they have to do, a necessary inconvenience, time they could be using to work, to grind, to get ahead. But psychologically, this mindset destroys both your sleep quality and your waking performance. Because sleep isn't downtime, it's not laziness, it's not a weakness. Sleep is your brain's recovery mode. It's when memories get consolidated, when emotions get processed, when creativity gets enhanced, when your body repairs itself at a cellular level. Without quality sleep, you're not productive. You're just busy. You're making more mistakes. You're emotionally reactive. You're operating at 60% capacity and wondering why everything feels harder than it should. People who understand this, who respect sleep as a non-negotiable part of high performance, they don't need 10 hours. They need quality. They need optimization. They need to work with their biology, not fight it. And when you do that, when you sleep smarter instead of just sleeping more, everything changes. Your focus sharpens. Your mood stabilizes. Your energy becomes consistent instead of crashing every afternoon. You make better decisions. You handle stress more effectively. You show up as the best version of yourself, not the exhausted, foggy version you've been tolerating. Final THOUGHT. So here's the truth. You don't need more sleep. You need better sleep. You need to understand your circadian rhythm and work with it. You need to plan your sleep in 90-minute cycles. You need to create a power-down routine that signals to your brain it's safe to rest. You need morning sunlight to reset your system. You need cold exposure and movement to activate your mind. These aren't hacks. They're biology. And when you align your habits with how your brain actually works, sleep becomes effortless. And waking up becomes something you look forward to instead of dread. Try it. Just for 1 week. Follow these principles. Sleep less, but sleep smarter. And watch how your energy, your focus, your entire life transforms. If this helped you, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started on understanding the psychology behind everything that matters.